People have long asked me if I'm from Memphis just because of my name. Honest answer, no. I was born here in Pittsburgh. I spent my childhood in Ohio. I bounced around for a few years. I moved back to Pittsburgh in 1990. Since then, I've been around the world a few times, but I always come back to Pittsburgh. Because really, there's no place better. What do you think? If you want to find out about the name, stick around.
How good was that, ladies and gentlemen? Memphis Mike and the legendary Tremblers. How good is that? Have I even got to ask a question? You want another one or what? Of course we do. Well, let's hear some noise. Let's get it back out here. Come on, guys, some noise. Let's get it back out here.
Fiona Boyce here, blueswoman, guitarist, and I'm here to tell you or ask you a bit about Memphis Mike. Who is he? How did he get that name?
I don't know how much I can actually say about that, because I'm afraid.
Memphis Mike's one of the crazy guitar players I ever got to play with.
Memphis Mike. Yeah, I remember that bloke. He was a total nutter.
This was the first song on our first album, came out in 1995 on Ohio Records, produced by my old buddy Alan Leatherwood. Goes a little something like this. And just so y'all know, the main reason you probably didn't hear it before, these guys weren't on it. So let me introduce them to you. To my right, your left, the one and only, the inimitable, the tallest bass player in town, Mr. Robert Jacob on the bass guitar. Make some noise for him, please.
Sure enough. Memphis Mike. Yeah, working with Memphis Mike for 30 years or so. Still have all my hair, still have my teeth, most of them. Haven't had a heart attack. He's had a heart attack, but I haven't had a heart attack. Yeah, some stomach issues, I suppose.
Backer on the drums, the baby of the band. Drummers are messed up people, okay? I'm just so y'all know. Drummers just ain't right. Back here pounding the shit out of these things, one and only Mr. John J.D. Dower, all the way from Erie by way of Allison Park. And if y'all don't know me, you probably don't want to. My name is Memphis Mike. The song's called Scooty Boot, and this goes a little something like this.
To me, Memphis Mike is the guy that walked into my studio with James Doherty, ready to do a Sun recording style recording session, right? So I don't know this guy from Adam. He's looking around, and within, it had to be 30 seconds, I hear, I have always thought in the back of my mind, and I interrupted, cheese and onions, and we've been great friends ever since. Now, to the unaware of the Ruddles, which is this wonderful Eric Idle film where he utilized Monty Python and several members of Saturday Night Live in the ultimate Beatles spoof. And for the life of us, I can't fathom why that movie isn't more popular. So it's a cult item, and he threw it out, and I jumped right on it. And I was like, I'm almost starting to like you. And here we go, about 20 years later, I'm still almost starting to like what you're trying to do.
Memphis Mike's one of the crazy guitar players I ever got to play with. And pulls out songs in the middle of a set, chord change we don't know, beat we don't know, and just makes it rip. But I don't know where he got the name Memphis Mike, though.
Anyway. Let's go way back in the dirty, dusty annals of time and go for an old song called the Okie Boogie. It's an old Delmore Brothers tune, but I can guarantee you they didn't do it quite like this. We do it like this.
Mike, how did that come about? Well, he was already Memphis Mike when I met him, so it wasn't anything that I did. If it was something that he did in my neighborhood, it would have been Jersey Mike, or or Mike who, or former Mike, or as we say in the audio industry, we have a dead Mike over here, right? So, but once I heard him play, Memphis Mike made total sense because, I'm known primarily as a rocker, pretty much up-tempo, high-energy rocker. I'm actually more of a classical player than anything. It's my first passion, but I have a long history of rockabilly and played in a little band called Johnny Fish and the Finns. So Mike comes along and he's like, and he's like, so, and I was drooling when I heard him play. So we have a genuine love for each other, but for playing and stuff, I mean, how much more could you like the second best guitar player in the town that you're from? This is a running joke with us.
Anybody like Elvis?
Which Elvis?
Pick one.
The dead one.
Okay, the dead one. Do you like the dead one?
Yeah, better dead than alive.
Well, then this goes out to you, sir. Just make sure you tip your bartender. All right? Little thing called Little Sister. Sister, take her on out to the show. Along come the daddy and call her the daddy on out the door. The bitch don't you? The bitch don't you? The bitch don't you? Get me once or twice. Johnny Valley's nothing in your heart. This is the God this bitch knows. find it on our Live in Australia CD. And featured on that song is a great guitar player from Australia named Fiona Boys. And like I always tell folks, if you don't buy one of our CDs, buy one of hers.
Well, g'day there. And welcome from Australia. Fiona Boyce here, blueswoman, guitarist, and I'm here to tell you or ask you a bit about Memphis Mike. Who is he? How did he get that name? Well, we hardly know because he arrived in our shores fully formed. A hell of a guy, larger than life, a rambunctious player, and I think from memory that we first met at a festival Rumour, I think. Now that was very cool because it was the Great Southern Blues and Rockabilly Festival, so they could really dig in there, and dig in they did. Memphis Mike was quite the hit, and I think I've got some photos, somewhere I've got photos that actually prove that this all exists. But I can tell you one other thing about Mike, is that he's a bit of a traveller. Not only an international traveller, having come out to Australia and joined us to play here, but he also travelled quite a long distance to come and visit me while I was touring in America. And even I do have photographic evidence of us playing together some, well, I guess it was an 8.25 hour drive from the festival down to where I lived, down to a tiny little joint in Dramana, Victoria, Australia. 2004, mate. Now you can see that photographic evidence that we were as young and beautiful as we are right now. Yeah, that was a crazy little joint run by the Wizard. It's a painting of him up the back there. You could just walk there from my house with your guitar amp on a trolley. It was cool. If you just look carefully, you can see there's a hand coming out there, and that is my husband, Steve-O, aka the Preacher. And actually, I do think I have got a shot of us. There we are. We're at the merch. That's Steve taking a bite to eat at the merch table between sets at the festival, I think. But one thing, as well as being great bloke, hell of a player, we can say this about Memphis Mike. He would have to be one of the very, very few Americans that I've ever met who has totally embraced the true culinary joy of the Australian iconic Vegemite. Good on you, mate.
When he was over here some years ago, he went down to Wales, tore up the little town of Caerphilly looking for these little bloody chocolate donut things. Drove them absolutely insane, he did. And then he fell out with the local teddy boy firm. Why? Because they said he was playing too loud, too frantic. They suspected he was a psychobilly, not much more than a punk rocker, really. Anyhow, I don't know what happened to him after that. Went back to the colonies, I do believe. Though I have heard he's quite partial to a bit of cooking. Quite a dab hand in the kitchen. Now this I'm interested in. In fact, if I get over there, I want to sample some of his delights. But there is one thing concerns me greatly. If he can't pronounce the name of the herbs correctly, such as oregano, what the bloody hell's he going to put in the food?
telephone bill on Tennessee.
And have also, over the course of this, been through 3 hand surgeries. Got one. This one is the most recent. It's gruesome, you know. Oddly enough, the scars on this hand, I don't know if we can do a close-up later or not, but scars on this hand actually improve my upright playing just the tiniest bit, because I got a scar that runs right through this knuckle, and when I go like that on the string, it's like I'm just hitting the scar. I'm not I'm not raising new calluses or new blisters or anything. So that's actually made things better, oddly enough. But yeah, probably the cause. Yeah.
Give it one off our Back from the Dead CD. Little thing called Like We Used to Do.
Virginia, went over as hell in a crazy house, and they wanted something to eat for breakfast, and chocolate donuts was the only thing at the convenience store.
Anybody like James Bond? How about The Godfather? Have you ever thought about smushing the two together? Like I said, this is the shit my brain comes up with. I never said it was pretty, folks, alright? Yeah. But I think you'll recognize it. Like I said, I got a weird brain.
The Lake region in Ohio. We pull in, the blonde walks in and says, "Where the F is the band?" Well, we were the band. And there were some poles strategically located in front of the band that the girls were using. Like, girls never use poles like I saw it in the normal club, maybe a strip club, and I did say something to Mike. I says, "Well, these girls horse?" He says, "No, horse don't wear cotton panties."
With a band like this, you gotta expect a drinking song every now and then. Because we like to drink.
Yes.
So if anyone wants to shot at tequila or something like that, I wouldn't say no. But anyway, I'll send this one out to a couple friends of mine who have been involved with people of questionable moral fiber. I'm sure we all know a person like that. Why don't you maybe been in that same situation yourself? Where you're with that special someone who hasn't quite lived up to your standards. And you wake up in the morning, get ready to go to work because you're a responsible adult and everything. And you're getting your stuff together and you're looking in your wallet and all of a sudden there's dust bunnies and memories. And you see that significant other laying there in the bed, hair looking a mess. He's looking like a couple cherries floating around in buttermilk. Kind of stinking like stale cigarettes and yesterday's beer. And you just kind of smack him in the head ever so lovingly. You say, "Baby, what the hell to do with my damn drinking money? 1, 2, 1, 2, 3. Hell, baby, just you wait a minute, honey. What the hell to do with my damn drinking money? Now with the boss I wanna, with some hell I wanna, make some noise. So hell, baby, just you wait a minute, honey. What to do with my damn drinking money? Just about downtown. Hey, little girl, where's Billy when you're at? I got a new hat and you got new shoes. Where's my money? Now, now with the boys I wanna listen, hell, you know, make some noise. So hey, baby, just wait a minute, honey. What to do with my damn drinking money? Just your way, man, honey. What the hell did you do with my damn drinking money? Now with my boys I wanna make some hell, make some noise. So hey, baby, just your way, man, honey. What the hell did you do with my damn drinking money? Working real hard, baby, all we want is Friday night, girl, I can get real low. Shot glass, couple hours down, I even fall on my ass. Now with my boys I wanna raise some hell, wanna make some noise. So here, baby, just so we're on there, honey. What the hell to do with my damn drinking money? I think we've all experienced that at some point or other.
Still haven't gained an appreciation for cheap beer, but I have graduated to drinking some of the occasional darker, cool beers. You know, I could be maybe a little beer snobbish. But before Memphis Mike, I was convinced that Budweiser was the reason I didn't drink beer. And I still don't drink that, you know. Went through a wine phase, but somehow graduated to Yukon Jack. God, I gotta say, I loves me my Yukon Jack. I can probably put, half gallon every couple weeks, you know. You walk in
think I'm jealous, but you don't understand. Rather see a girl than another man. Ladies, young ladies, you walk in the room.
Memphis Mike. Well, now, what can I say about Memphis Mike that hasn't already been said? Maybe one or two things, I don't know. I'm pretty sure he's not actually from Memphis, though. Like, or did I imagine that? I don't know. Why ruin a good thing? Hey, no, Memphis Mike is super cool. He's super funny. He is a hell of a guitar player. The dude has got licks for days. That's right. I said he's got licks for days, and I don't even care how that sounds because I know what I meant. And if you don't, then the problem is in your mind. I'll tell you another thing about Memphis Mike. Memphis Mike is really, really into little chocolate donuts. And so you can see what I'm doing in this program. Did you know that the C, do you know the C, his C initial, you know what it stands for, don't you? It stands for chocolate donut. And even if it doesn't really, that's what I tell myself.
Dang it. We're going to do one more. We're going to put a little pause for the cause. If you know this, sing along. If you don't, take the words I got to do. Just so instrumental.
Sleigh bells ring. Are you listening? In the lane, snow's glistening. A beautiful sight. We're happy tonight. Walking in a winter wonderland. Gone away is the bluebird. Here to stay is a new bird. It sings a love
Oh, hey. Come on up. Yeah, better half locked me out again. I was playing too much banjo ukulele. Come on up. That name. Some people will tell you I'll never live that name down.
Back in the country, out in the dream, singing a sign 'cause it's time to sing. Get rid of letters and bring it back. Good hunt for Christ, the center, the king has come back. Goodbye. Bye-bye. I met a girl down in Tennessee. Here's not a thing I ever did. She won my heart over, she really was the most. But I lost her 2-3 guys I know, the Father, Son, and Holy Ghost. Bye-bye. I spent some time down on the Ferguson line, selling peaches by the roadside in Allegheny wine. I met a woman from Hillness and Sand. Well, she took me to her motel room and tied me to the bed. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. I met the devil at the crossroads at night. He wore a big old diamond ring and his clothes out of sight. Oh, I've got wishes to take his soul when he died. I laughed in his face and then I spit in his eye. Goodbye. Bye. I get the name Memphis Mike? Well, Cheryl used to be my publicist. Always had the best answer to that one. All the good names were taken. Why did I start using that name? Well, long story short, I'd already been doing the gigging thing for 10 or 15 years and had started my own band, the Tremblers. This was after the Rowdy Bovines split up. And, long story short, we got slapped with a cease and desist order over the name. Now, my given last name is Metzger. Not too difficult if you ask me, but it's an ethnic name and a lot of people seem to have difficulty with it. They see that T, Z, and G and their minds just scramble. They're not sure how to pronounce it. I grew up with a lot of Italians. I remember my 6th grade science teacher used to call it Mensker. There's no N in there. There's no K in there. There's definitely no S in there. The hell? He wasn't much of a science teacher either, okay? But anyhow, some friends of ours from up in Maine were going through a similar situation where they had been given a cease and desist order for using the name of the Memphis Mafia. This is around the same time. And David, the guy that used to own Gooskies, he was forever calling me the business, the hardest working man in showbiz. Probably because at that point in time we had 6 shows booked at his place in 4 weeks. We were on the bill with everyone. We were constantly working. And we were telling him about our friends getting a cease and desist order and us getting a cease and desist order. So he started to call me Memphis Mike, the hardest working man in showbiz. As for the legendary part, you can thank my buddy Denny from the Lords of the Highway up in Cleveland. We were doing, I believe it was our 2nd show. It was supposed to be our 1st show, but we did one 2 weeks earlier with my friend Lee's band, Robespierre and the Reign of Terror, downstairs in the basement at Luciano's. And then we did the first official show, May 5th, upstairs at Luciano's with the Lords of the Highway from up in Cleveland. And Denny billed us on the poster as the legendary Tremblers. So when we got the cease and desist order, it was either ignore the cease and desist order and get all sorts of headaches from that, or we could modify the name. Okay, we could have just gone with the legendary Tremblers. That probably would have stuck. A friend of mine in the music biz, he had suggested Mike and the legendary Tremblers. But when David called me Memphis Mike, I said, I might be able to use that. So Memphis Mike and the legendary Tremblers. Threw that out at some friends of mine in the music business. They're like, we like it, that's good. It's long, but it's good. It's memorable. So we became Memphis Mike and the legendary Tremblers. The press still misspelled it all the time. Call us the Tumblers, or the Tremblays, or the Trembleros, or any sort of thing. But yeah, Memphis Mike and the legendary Tremblers. So, yeah, that's the story of the name. Really, not that exciting, huh? Cheers. Little chocolate donuts, they're necessary. Trust me, they're necessary. Any bass player of a certain age anyway, will tell you, they're necessary. I think Albert Collins probably would have agreed as well. But he had a thing about not washing his hands before a show. But trust me, little chocolate donuts, they're necessary. Alright?
steeple says it's midnight. Guy in the corner is too tight. Jesus in the window says it's alright. So follow me in the light. But I don't think he'll make it, 'cause he can't walk. Joe Willie was a singer. He gave it all up to drink. Joe Willie was a singer. He gave it all up to drink. Now he sings in the choir down on the street. Hallelujah, hallelujah. God bless us one and all. Hallelujah, hallelujah. God bless us one and all. When they pass it, play it around, you can hear them angels call. If Jesus Christ was whiskey and drink it wouldn't be a sin, and Joe Willie never find himself in the shape that he's in. And when I'll get to heaven for the price of real gin, hallelujah, hallelujah. God bless us one and all. Hallelujah, hallelujah. God bless us one and all. When they pass a plate around, you can hear them angels call.
Y'all still here?